All right, a beautiful morning. Thank God it's Friday. You're welcome to Women's Corner. My name is Rose Blossom. Of course, Covenant is not here with us today, but next week, Monday, she's going to be here. So I'm always excited to be here because every topic we'll talk about and every tip that we'll give to those women, to the girl child, are always very interesting. And of course, today we're talking about educational choices and of course, homeschooling for children and the girl child. We'll still focus more on the girl child, which of course we have an amazing guest that will be talking about that today. But as usual, I want you to know that we're streaming live on Facebook at Galaxy TV Web and Galaxy TV, and of course we have our YouTube channels at Galaxy TV Entertainment, Galaxy TV News, Galaxy TV Comedy, and we also have Galaxy TV Vibes, where you get all the juicy gist on the red carpet and getting all the event moments, of course, as they come. So you can just like, subscribe and share. Also, you should know that our app is on Google Play Store and Apple Play Store, so you can download Galaxy Television app right there for those who do not have a screen TV beside them, or you're on transit, so you can watch all of our live programs from there. And of course, before we talk about our topic for today, and of course before we introduce our guests, we always go for a tip, and this first tip we'll be going about is quite a bit interesting and away from the usual. And that's because if you want to homeschool your child, even if you have to make your child have a particular choice, there's a need for internet, there's a need for phone, maybe not really the social media. So we have to bring the tip on how one can avoid internet addiction, despite the fact that they might be homeschooling, they will have their tab, their system, their laptops, or probably they would have maybe going to school and they need to learn, and sometimes they give them assignment, they give them homework, and they have to go through the internet. But still, if you do not take care, you could have internet addiction, and that could deter you or drive you away from the focus on why you have your internet. So this is for children and even adults. This is just the way you can avoid addiction, internet addiction, or getting addicted to the internet. So right after that one, we'll be introducing our guest, and of course we'll start discussing about education choices and homeschooling for children and a girl child. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Tips to avoid internet addiction. Acknowledge the problem. Seeing an addiction problem for what it is can be one of the most difficult internet addiction symptoms to overcome, the emotional surges that comes with being online trigger. Consider professional help. Considering professional help means being open to the possibility of seeking assistance from a qualified therapist or other mental health professional who is trained in treating internet addiction. Create a schedule. One of the ways of how to break internet addiction is to create a schedule. Creating a schedule refers to planning and organizing your time in advance so that you can balance your internet use with other activities and responsibilities. Practice mindfulness. Another solution to internet addiction is to practice mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness means paying attention to the present moment with curiosity and openness without judgment or distraction. Set device-free times. Setting device-free times refers to choosing certain periods of the day or week when you do not use any tech devices such as smartphones, computers, tablets, or televisions. Identify triggers. Identifying triggers means recognizing the situations, emotions, or thoughts that make you want to use the internet excessively or compulsively. Seek support. Seeking support means reaching out to friends, family, support groups, or professionals for help and encouragement in dealing with internet addiction. It involves sharing one's struggle and challenges related to excessive internet use and actively seeking guidance, understanding, and assistance from others during the recovery process. Find alternative activities. To find alternative activities means to engage in other hobbies, interests, or tasks that can provide you with enjoyment, fulfillment, or relaxation without using the internet.
Right, welcome back. You're still watching Women's Corner with me, Rose Blossom. And of course, like I said, that is just a tip to avoid internet addiction. And also, we're talking about today education choices and homeschooling, which is one of the ways you can actually school a child. We have a lot. We have the private schooling, we have the traditional public schooling, we have the homeschooling, and of course the online and virtual schooling. Here we are talking about homeschooling and of course educational choices a girl child or children can actually take. So I'll be introducing my guest. Her name is Folake. Folake is she's not the first time, so she's an amazing person, and of course judging from all characters of our guests and professionality, we tend to bring the persons who could directly impact and could talk basically well on the topic we're bringing to you. So Folake is an amazing person, like I said, and of course we'll just have to bring her up on time because of our time is already running up. We're almost around 11:30. So Folake, good morning. How you doing, Folake?
Good morning. I'm great. Good morning. Hope you're great too.
It's good to have you, and this is the first time I'm seeing you 2025. So happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
It's good to have you. So Folake, I'm just going to go straight to the question right now. The first question I want to ask is, why is it that in Nigeria, especially, we do not support homeschooling? Because, you know, we hear there are a lot of out of school children, you know, just there lingering, you know, loitering the environment, not doing anything tangible for themselves. What do you think is the basic reason? Or maybe it could be a cultural factor. It could be the fact that maybe, is it possible that we do not appreciate education, or education is literally not, how do I put it? It's not, you know, growing up we hear education is the best legacy, but does it actually mean that right now is not like the best legacy? People always tell you schooling is a scam, but I always say try ignorance if you think school is expensive or education is expensive. So what is the most common or the main factor or reason why we have a lot of out of school children, and why we do not actually support homeschooling in Nigeria?
Thank you so much. Like you said, like rightly said, cultural factor. We have those Nigerians especially that if my child is not at home, like I'm sorry, in the school system, and someone is not talking and there's no teacher there, it's not working. Like I cannot, you can't imagine. I'm a very busy person, like a parent, but I'm busy. Will I have the chance to be teaching my child at home and all these things? So those are, and our culture, like we need to, you believe that child has to be there with the teacher, you have to sit down, you have to be there with other children before you can learn. Now, education is involved every day. So I think the major reason why parents don't believe it, I think it's not just the cultural factor. We are Nigerians. We always, even when you want to negotiate a business deal with someone, you always believe that let me meet this person physically. It's better than virtual or learning. You know, homeschooling can be of different types. And I also hear that parents think that homeschooling is just basically me as a parent teaching my child all the time. And some parents be like, I'm an illiterate. Maybe I didn't even go to school. I want my child to have that same experience. Well, how can I teach my child? Now, they don't know that there are so many ways. And there's also this misconception about homeschooling, that homeschooling is expensive. That I'll have to like pay for this, pay for that. I'll have to pay for data, internet. Then probably if I'm not educated and I want to get a private tutor to teach my child, it's going to be expensive. But we don't know that homeschooling is actually budget friendly. It's possible to have a budget friendly homeschooling. It's possible to have things where you want. Like in other countries, not Nigeria and US, they form something like more of like a cooperative where we have parents who are doing homeschooling come together, form like a group, and they're all in a group. So today, probably I read English in school, and then we have our children in the same compound or around the house, and maybe Mr. John, who has the other child, is a science person, maybe he's a doctor, may not be able to handle English well. I can come in and handle English for the children. Mr. John can come in and handle science, and then we do it together. Then you are reducing costs. We can also donate money. We can all get money together and get tutors for our child in school and in the house. and then we watch, we see what is going on. But the time, the effort that we are going to put in, some parents are like, I don't have that time, I have to hustle, I have to work. You can engage private tutors. You can even do the cooperative, whereby every parent will come together. Oh, we want to do homeschooling for our child. There you are not just, you also know who is involved. You know Mr. John's reputation. You know what he can do. You know him. So your children are in safe hands. So, but this misconception that is expensive, it's going to be time consuming. I don't think I can teach, when we have a lot of videos on YouTube that you can learn from, a lot of stuff. There's online stuff available that are even free that you can learn from and teach your child or get people. But most of us think the money is too much. It's time consuming. It's not going to. And then our culture, we need a teacher that can handle him. It's Kane, handle my child very well. I can't handle it and all those stuff. I think those are the reasons why we are not really accepting this homeschooling. But I just want to say something, that homeschooling is not cancelling traditional learning. It's an alternative. It's a choice, just to make sure that it can cater for the need of that child. If your child needs homeschooling, you should be able to know and identify. And if it's special learning that work, it's also fine. It's not cancelling traditional learning. It's an alternative. It's a choice. It's not a competition.
Huh. Okay. Oh, well, I know a lot of people will be wondering, like, she's speaking with so much power. Well, Folake Shobayo has a lot of experience when it comes to education, and of course she's an educationist. She has been in it for over 8 years plus, and of course she is also a TRCN and a Cambridge certified teacher, if you do not know. So you might be wondering, how come she's speaking with so much how will I say, passion? And of course she also specializes in IGCSE, GCSE and SAT curriculum for students in year 7, that is to A+. Of course, she's currently digitally empowering learners in the UK, US and Canada, of course fostering a lot of love and unlocking talent to their full potential. So yes, that is who Folake is. So I purposely asked that first question first before introducing you. So I just did a proper introduction. So I'm just going to go. Since you said homeschooling is not the way we always think, because trust me, when you hear homeschooling, you feel, okay, they are just going to be home. You will teach everything. And like you said, if you're an illiterate, you do not have this primary education, or you do not even know what to teach your child. Now, how will you be able to pass the knowledge? And you were able to break that down. So that brings me to the question that does it mean that cultural values or societal values or their standing points has actually affected the educational system for girl child? Do you think cultural values or cultural, whatever culture has to do with it, or the society has actually made girls not to have a particular kind of education in the society?
Yes, I think probably yes, it's possible. It's possible. Can never say never. Because we believe that, I think there's this culture that girls are meant to be, they're meant to be in the kitchen. They're meant to cook, and they're not supposed to like do all this thing. And then homeschooling, probably, like I said, I can't teach my child. Then I get